Take me along just for a ride, but I never thought that we would kiss the sky.
Hey guys, welcome to Frank's Tech Help. Today we're going to be working on the HBX Feiyue High Boxing Dune Thunder 12891, and I'm going to be doing a battery mod. Now normally you put the 18650 batteries, one in each side of this unit right here. But I want to use other batteries that I have for various other RC vehicles, and so this is the one we're going to be kind of looking at right here. Let me zoom in for you. So this is for, normally, this battery's for the Feiyue WLTOYS. It's a 3000 mAh 7.4 volt battery, and it's using the Dean's T connector, as you can see right there. And so I want to modify this unit to not only be able to take the 18650 batteries, but also be able to plug in the extended battery packs such as this. So the first thing I've already done is I've checked the voltage and traced down the wires. I'll show you right here. So this is the light connector. You can just kind of push that out of the way, and these will be zip tied in. There was another one right here. I've already cut it out of the way, but that's kind of the first thing you need to do is cut the first zip tie, and then come in here and very carefully clip the other zip tie. Now that's going to free this cable up, such as this right here. So this connector right here, the back half of this that goes down into the sides is going to the positive and negative of the side batteries. So you have one side positive, back side negative, and then there's a connector that goes in between it too to close the circuit on that to make it as far as the 7.4 volts. And the standard batteries that go in this are the 18650, as I mentioned. So first thing you need to do is you're going to need a little flathead screwdriver. You're going to want to go in to the edge of this right here and kind of dig it out. There's two little clips in here that kind of lock it into place. And you have to do that on both sides. Get that out, and then you can also put the screwdriver up in the tip right there like that and kind of force it back to where it goes out until it disconnects. And it's going to be tight just because it's the way it's designed. So there we have it. So now I've freed the connectors. So the short one, you can see right there, this one's running, as I mentioned, down into the battery connectors, and then this is the main unit where it plugs in here, right there. Now, in order to do this process, and it depends on the type of battery you're using. If you're using like an XT30 battery for a drone or whatever, you'll need a different type of connector, but in this scenario I'm going to use the Dean's T connector. And what I've done is I've purchased this extra little cable online for, I don't know, $4 or $5 or whatever. And as you can see on the one side it has the male plugs for the Dean's connector. On the other side it has a plug which is irrelevant because we're going to cut this off right here and then wire it in. So just to verify, we'll go ahead and plug this into the battery, and so you can see right there how that hooks up. And so this basically is going to be wired to the positive and negative of this connector. So what this is going to allow you to do when you're done is you can unplug this battery like that, and then plug this in, have this plugged in, so you can still use the 18650 batteries on either side of this, or you can take those batteries out and then hook in the Dean's plug T connector to your extended battery. So the first step, I'm going to cut these wires down, strip them out, and then cut the tip off of this, and so I can get the wires to go in. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. And you will need to cut a little bit of the end off, kind of round it off so you can connect it, make a connection to the new one. So I'm just going to use scissors and very carefully work my way around. You don't want to cut too deep, you just want enough to get the exposed wire like that right there. Alright, so there we have the negative wire exposed. We'll go over here to the positive side. Actually, I think I need to cut these down just a tad bit more. Do it like so. And and strip the end of it off like that. You may end up with some extra fibrous pieces. Just go ahead and make sure they don't fall into the car or whatnot. Get those cleaned up. So there you have the two end connectors like that right there. Now there's two ways to do this. You could either completely cut these wires off and then strip all four of the ends and then come back and wire it and then kind of do the soldering job on it or whatever. Or you can just shave the surface off of the wire to expose the wire and keep it as one piece, and then come in with that other piece and kind of wire it in. And for the sake of this video, I think that's what I'm going to do right here. And let me go ahead and get my little sharp or X-Acto knife or whatever, razor here. And I'm going to cut into this wire right here. Just shave some off of the surface like that right there. Just enough to expose it. Alright, so I'll zoom in here so you can see that. Oh, sorry, too close. There we go. So you can see how I've cut get it in a good spot there. So basically just expose that wire. Saves me the trouble of having to cut the wire in half and then put it back together and do all of that stuff. So I'm going to shave this one as well. And then you can give it a little twist like that just to get any of the extra fibers, wire fibers, out of the way. So there you have it right there. You've got your two exposed wires. So basically you want to come in with your positive and negative and then wire these two into place here. And for this process, since this cable is so big, I'm going to split it right here like this so that I have two pieces open like that right there, as you can see, and then come in and wrap them around the existing wire. This will ensure you get a good tight connection for that. And realistically, you're better off soldering this, but for the demonstration purposes of this video, I'm not going to solder them just yet. I'll probably come back and do that after the fact. I just want to get this, get it in here and verify that it's working for you guys, just for the purpose of this mod video. So come in and wire that one in to the black side right there like that. Come in and twist those wires in like so. And go ahead and wrap these around, just give them an extra connection. Make sure they're touching the surface. So now at this point, what you would want to do is come in with your soldering gun and put a tack of solder on there and a tack of solder on there and do it really good just to make sure everything stays secure and the wires don't slip. So as I mentioned, for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and tape them up. I'm more concerned about the fact that it works and making sure that you guys know what's going on here. So I'm going to take some electrical tape and I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around. Start with the negative side here and get this wrapped up nice and tight. Kind of chunky looking, but there it is, wired in, as you can see. I'll come back and clean it up later, but now you have these two connectors wired in. So you can come back in. There's two ways you can do this. You can leave this wired in, plugged in for the 18650 if you want. Just make sure you're not running both at the same time. So if you're going to do this, leave this plugged in. You can put in your 18650 batteries and run them, or you can take those batteries out and now you'll be able to plug in the battery with your Dean's connector right there. So just to verify that this process is working, let me grab the remote. Alright, so I grabbed the remote here and I've got the battery hooked up, as you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the unit. And as you can see, a little red light is flashing in there. And turn on the unit here. Oh, and yes, it's kicking. So let me just put this up out of the way and I'll hold this up. Alright, so there you have it. Let me go. Oh. Shit got away from me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off now. Alright, so there you have it, proof of concept and functionality. So I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my battery here. Now, once you get this process done, I am going to go ahead and connect this back up because I will be using the 18650 batteries along with the modified battery for the Dean's connector. So I'll go ahead and plug that back in there, make sure it's in place. And so this is what the final product's going to look like when you're done. Get this over here. So you have your regular connector going in for your 18650 batteries, and then the extended connector coming out to the Dean's T-plug like that. So we've kind of got this back into place here. Now the wire that I'm using, this is a pretty thick gauge. It looks like a 16, actually probably 16 or 18 gauge wire. So it's a little bit thick and kind of hard to maneuver around or whatnot. So you might consider using a thinner gauge, although this is pretty heavy duty for this purpose. So from there, you're just going to get your battery in place, and honestly you want to keep it away from your steering control, because when that spins around like that, you don't want this to interfere with that. So at this point, I'm probably going to zip tie it back again right here, and then that way the battery can sit right here. You can still plug in the lights, and then you have your antenna right there. So I'm going to go ahead and drop another zip tie in here. Alright, so there we have it. Let me get a little close-up view for you guys here, if I can get any closer without getting fuzzy there. So there you see everything is hooked back up. You've got your normal 18650 connector over here, and this is wired into the Dean's connector. So from here, all you have to do basically is you can just strap your battery into place here, and you still have the connector for the lights on the Dune Thunder 12891 if you want to plug those in, and it's out of the way of the steering control right there. So I'm going to grab some Velcro here and I'll go ahead and strap this in. Alright guys, so during my first test, as you know, I kind of strapped the battery in like this with just a piece of Velcro, and I ran it all the way around. Well, as it turns out, the Velcro slid back this direction and the battery hit the ground and started dragging. So what I'm going to do, also didn't have the side casings on for the 18650 battery, so what I'm going to do is use some two-part epoxy resin, so that's in like 5 minutes. And I'm actually going to glue this strap in right here inside of the battery housing. Give you a side view of it right there. So it's going to go in like this right here, and I'm just going to put a little bit on the end of this and then stick it up in here and hold it. So then what this does is if I still want to put the battery casing on for the 18650 battery, it just slides through this top hole right here. It goes through like this right here, and it will slide down into place, and you'll still be able to put the battery cover on, but you'll have the Velcro sticking up like that. So that way you'll be able to put the battery in and then Velcro it from one side to the other. So I'm going to put the other strap on the other side of it inside right there, and then that way it actually holds the battery in place better. So I'm going to go ahead and do that modification, and then I'll get back with you here in just a minute. So here we are with the finished modification for the Velcro straps. Zoom in here just a little bit so you can see what I've done. I used some two-part epoxy resin, which is the strongest stuff I think that you can get. You don't want to use super glue because it's just going to fall off in 20 minutes. So I basically put some two-part epoxy resin on the end of the Velcro, stuck it into place there, and then I came in on the top of that and put some electrical tape in over the top of it, just to keep any excess glue from sticking to whatever you put in there. Normally it dries in about 5 minutes, but it just looks nicer as far as that goes. So you can see that I've done that on both sides right there. So now my straps are glued into place. Now it's important that you use this thin, let me see if I can get it at the right angle there, that you use a thin Velcro, and this is a double-sided, so you can, when you strap it through, you can strap it on, basically on either side there. And if you use the large fuzzy Velcro, this is probably not going to work because it's so thick, it's going to force the battery out of the bay. So with this being said, I'll go ahead and pop the batteries in here just to show you as far as the mod there. So it actually works perfect. I'll get it stuck all the way in there. There we go. So like that, and then you'll just come back over with your strap, and you take the strap and slide it through the top section right there like that, bring it down, Alright, so there. Now it will be a very tight fit on this. You're going to have to kind of force it into place because that Velcro does take up some space in there along with the electrical tape. But as you can see now, you can actually pick this up by this and swing it around. Let me zoom out here a little bit. So this is a very strong connection on this side. And so for this purpose though, I'm going to pop this battery back out because this is all about using the extended battery. So go ahead and take this battery back out of the way. I just wanted to show you that it actually works with it in there. So then you come back down, pop your cap in, strap this one through like so, come down, pop it in place like that. So now, that way you still have your battery covers on the side even though there aren't batteries in it. And from there, you'll come in and plug in your Dean's T-connector battery that you're using. Plug it in like that right there. And then you'll place your battery on the side like this. And now you'll be able to strap that puppy in nice and tight. Alright, so after initial testing with the battery in place, plugging it in like this and then strapping the Velcro around with the new modification with them in the side here, the battery did keep sliding out and it's fallen out 2 or 3 times. And I tried it once with a piece of foam, just kind of placing it in there to give it some pressure and strapped it in like that, and it didn't work so well. So then I thought maybe I could use a piece of rubbery grip stuff. This is the type of stuff you use to line your cabinets for dishes or whatever, and it's got a pretty good grip to it. I wrapped it around the battery like that and put it into place, and it did hold better, but the battery still fell out. So my ultimate solution was to take some of the leftover Velcro and actually attach it to the side of the batteries. So I've got 2 batteries here, and I just used some 2-part epoxy resin and glued those to the side of the battery. So this is the ultimate solution to this problem. When you put your battery in, make sure it's secure there. Bring this Velcro down like that. Bring the other piece up and over, nice and tight. And there you have it. You see that has a tiny bit of play, but it's not going anywhere now, thankfully. Took 2 or 3 tries to get this down, but better for you guys to be informed now than to run your car through the yard or the gravel, whatever, and end up destroying a battery or possibly your car. So. Oh yeah. Oh man, this thing kicks now. Wow, that is so much more powerful. Oh, and it's kicking gravel everywhere. Oh yeah, Willie. Anyway, that's it for this modification. I hope it helped you guys out, and as always, thanks for watching Frank's Tech Help. Peace.
Take me